watch your back! Sarkozy, watch your back! Muslims are coming back! Muslims are coming back! Sarkozy, watch your back! Sarkozy, watch your back! Sharia is coming back! Sharia is coming back! Nare Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Nare Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Nare Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Sharia for France! Sharia for France! Sharia for France! Khilafah for France! Khilafah for France! Sarkozy, watch your back! Sarkozy, watch your back! Muslims are coming back! Muslims are coming back! Sarkozy, watch your back! Sarkozy, watch your back! Sharia is coming back! Sharia is coming back!
But dear Muslims and non-Muslims, let us address you and let us tell you what is it that we want. We as Muslims, we bow down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We only obey Him. We only follow His command. We only submit to Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when there is other people besides Allah trying to legislate a law that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already made for us, we do not obey them. So when Sarkozy and other governments are trying to ban the burqa, the niqab, when they are attacking Islam, one by one, we as Muslims, we will not tolerate this. We are a nation. In the past, whenever you try to put us down, we the Muslims rose up. Let us remind the French government, the British government, and those governments who try to attack Islam, who try to attack the Muslims. We are an ummah of 1.5 billion, and when we roar, we will take the governments down. And for the French government, when you try to attack our sisters, when you try to humiliate our sisters, when you try to ban the burqa, we will not remain silent. In fact, over your noses, we will come out and we will prevail Islam openly, publicly. Let us give you a reminder, oh French government, over 100 years ago, you tried doing a play, attacking Isa al-Islam, attacking Islam, and what happened? A warning was given out, and you had to retract. And again the same message, do not play with fire, because only you will burn. You yourself are to blame. If anything happens, we the Muslims will live under a treaty, we never break it, but do not force us to break that treaty, because we are a nation with izzah. We like to live with izzah. Do not try to humiliate us, because for how long can we remain silent? Let us give you some reminders. In the past, we had mothers of believers who came out and they sacrificed themselves for Islam. Look at Sumayya radiallahu anha, the first one to become shaheed. She did not let Islam be attacked. And we have mothers today. Oh Muslimah, do not let the kuffar humiliate you at all. You are the izzah of us. You are the izzah of Islam. Do not let them put you down, because through you, the ummah lives. Through you, Islam lives. So when you remain firm, Islam remains firm. So I call the Muslim sisters in France, wherever you are, remain firm on Islam. When they attack you, the veil, they attack the Muslim ummah. And we, the Muslim ummah, will never remain silent. So the message to Sarkozy, he can burn in hell. Sarkozy, burn in hell.
Sarkozy, burn in hell.
Sarkozy, burn in hell.
Sarkozy, burn in hell.
Sarkozy, burn in hell.
Sarkozy, burn in hell.
Just because you people like to uncover your female, You have no shame at all. Does not mean we are the same. It does not mean at all that we like our women to be uncovered. We like our women to be covered for the husband. So shame on you. Just because you, Sarkozy, want to see your wife, the whole of France, her roaming around naked, does not mean we the Muslims are the same. We will cover our female, and we will cover yours as well. And we will see the black flag of La ilaha illallah upon your land and upon the Tower of Eiffel Tower.
Muslims, what we see happening in France today is the continuing crusade against Islam and Muslims. But never fear, my dear Muslims, because the more that we submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more that these kuffar, they fear the Muslims. The more sisters that come out and wear the niqab, the more afraid that these kuffar become. The more the Muslims, they call for the Sharia, the more that these kuffar, they become afraid. So my dear Muslims, never fear the kuffar, because indeed, when you practice this deen, when you follow Islam, they fear us. And if we look to the whole of France, look, because of some women, because they wear the niqab, the symbol of Islam, the whole French government, they become afraid of a few sisters just because of a piece of cloth. Imagine when they face the mujahideen, how afraid will they become then? My dear Muslims, in the whole of France, they have become familiar with Islam. They have heard this word niqab, and all of the French people, they know this word. But if they ever think about putting a hand on one of the Muslim sisters, we will teach them one other word, jihad, and we will show them that the Muslims, they will defend the Muslim women. We are not people that are afraid of the kuffar. Indeed, we love death like they love life. Indeed, we are not a people that betray the people that we live amongst. But we need to give a warning. It is no time for a war of words, but rather, if you push the Muslims push back. We are not people that give you the other cheek. Rather, we are people that are ready to defend Islam, to defend the Muslims. So do not push the Muslims. All we can do here in UK is to give you the warning. We do not want to see a replication of what took place in the past when the Muslims, when the lines of Tawheed, they rose to defend Islam for the people of Iraq and Afghanistan, the Muslims that they came out, and only a handful came out to defend the Muslims, and the whole of the West got shooken. But now, if you want to bring the war into Europe, if you want to bring the war into the streets of France, into the streets of UK, this is a war that you will never win. This is a war that you will never win, because the Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings be upon him, he prophesied that the whole of this earth was shown to him, the east of the east and the west of the west. I repeat, the west of the west was shown to the Prophet, and he saw the authority of this ummah, this nation that calls for Sharia, this nation that submits to Allah, this nation that follows Islam. He saw this nation's authority over the whole of this earth. So my dear people, my dear Muslims, do not worry, do not worry. The war will continue. Islam will be victorious. Their freedom, their democracy, their law is only hypocrisy, and it will only take you to hellfire. They themselves, they know that their democracy is failing. The very fact that they have to ban the niqab in France is a contradiction to their own laws, to their own ideas. So we can see that man is failing. Rather, it's the Muslims, the believers that will be successful. So always remember this. Well, remember that when the governments, when the nations, when their leaders, they start to speak about Islam, they start to speak about Sharia, it's because they are afraid that the Sharia and the Islam is coming to their shores. Takbir!
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oh, Nicolas Sarkozy, once again the Muslims are here to condemn you for the dog that you are. The Muslims in France and the Muslims in UK and the Muslims in Europe and all over the world are united with one voice, and that voice is a voice of submission to the commands of Allah. We as Muslims, we are submitters. We bow our heads to no one other than Allah. And the women, the Muslim women in Europe and in France and all over the world, they will never degrade themselves the way the women of France degrade themselves. They respond to the ayah in the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولا يبدين زينتهن إلا ظهر منها. The Muslims of France, the Muslim women of UK, they will follow the command of Allah, where He tells them to cover up their modesty and not to go out in shame the way you let your wife go out in shame. Nicolas Sarkozy, be aware that you have started an earthquake that you will never stop, and the earth of France will shake with the sound of La ilaha illallah. Because the Muslims, we are people who do not know what humiliation is, and we do not understand what it means to submit to man, because we are people Allah has dignified with Islam. We are a nation who Allah has dignified with the Quran, and we submit ourselves to this, and we sacrifice our lives for this, because indeed our eyes are on Jannah, on paradise. Our heart is in paradise, and inshallah the victory will be when the Muslims, we get the Jannah, and we are not satisfied until the Muslims rise up in the UK. We are not satisfied until the law of Allah dominates all over the world. Nareh Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Muslims rise up!
Muslims rise up!
Muslims speak up!
Muslims speak up!
Sarkozy, go to hell!
Sarkozy, go